Did you know that Thoth, the ibis-headed god, also appeared as a baboon? Hello and welcome to World History Encyclopedia. My name is Kelly and today's video is all about the ancient Egyptian god of the moon, wisdom, magic and writing, Thoth. In this video, we're going to explore his responsibilities as the scribe who kept track of the dead in Egyptian mythology, his worship, and myths associated with him. Don't forget, the easiest way to support us is by giving this video a thumbs up, subscribing to our channel, and hitting that bell icon for notifications so you don't miss out on any new uploads. World History Encyclopedia is a non-profit organisation and you can find us on Patreon, a brilliant site where you can support our work and receive exclusive benefits in return. Your support helps us create videos twice a week, so make sure to check it out via the pop-up in the top corner of the screen or via the Patreon link down below. Thoth is the ancient Egyptian god of wisdom, magic, writing, and the moon, and was one of the most important gods of the Egyptian pantheon. As with all mythology, there are numerous myths surrounding the birth of Thoth, with one saying he was self-created, and another saying he was born of the seed of Horus, the son of Osiris and Isis, who established order, and that he was born from the forehead of Set, associated with chaos. As the son of gods representing order and chaos, he was also considered the god of equilibrium, which in turn means he was often associated with Ma'at, the concept of harmony and balance, and the goddess of the same name who personified those principles, and was sometimes depicted as his wife. He had the consort Nehemetawi, whose name means she who embraces those in need, but was most often associated with Seshat, the goddess of writing, the patron goddess of libraries and librarians, and depicted as either his wife or daughter. In the form of An, Thoth was an underworld god who oversaw the judgment of the dead along with Osiris in the Hall of Truth. If a soul was afraid they wouldn't pass through the Hall of Judgment, they were encouraged to call upon Thoth for help. Thoth's Egyptian name was Djehuty, which means he who is like the ibis, and the ibis bird was sacred in ancient Egypt, as well as a popular pet and associated with wisdom. Thoth is often depicted with the head of an ibis and the body of a man, or as a seated baboon, sometimes with and sometimes without the lunar disc over his head, since he was a lunar deity. He was always closely associated with Ra, the god of the sun. As the patron god of the scribes, it was said that scribes would pour out a drop of their ink in Thoth's honour before they started work for the day. As the god of wisdom, he's also credited with being the creator of many different branches of knowledge, including law, philosophy, religion, science, magic, and writing. As the creator of the written language, Thoth was also linked with the concept of fate and, like Seshat, knew the present as well as the future, and they both wrote down the fate of humans and of kings. Thoth kept records as the record keeper of the gods, and every morning updated Ra on the events he had documented. The birth of Thoth, as mentioned before, is different in many of the ancient Egyptian myths. In one story, he was known as the god without a mother because he was born from the lips of Ra at the very beginning of creation. And there's another version where he is self-made and, in the form of an ibis, lays the cosmic egg which holds all of creation. There is even another story of Thoth's birth. In the contendings of Horus and Set, he is created from the semen of Horus, which was then accidentally swallowed by Set, and then he was born from Set's forehead. In the contendings, Thoth acts as a scribe and writes down the events of the contest. He heals both Horus and Set and gives wise counsel. In this myth, acting as a mediator, he made sure they were both equally capable, which mirrors his role over justice on Earth, and his responsibility for enforcing the laws of Ma'at or harmony. Due to his closeness with the god Ra, in myths he was often tasked with the duty of retrieving Ra's daughter from distant lands she fled to, a motif in ancient Egyptian mythology known as the distant goddess. The distant goddess motif changes depending on which goddess is featured, but it always goes that a goddess and daughter of Ra disagrees with him about something, and then runs away to a distant land and someone has to go and get her back. When the goddess returns, she always brings some sort of transformation. Often when Thoth headed off to retrieve the distant goddess, he was disguised as a monkey or a baboon to trick her into drawing close so he could catch her. But this didn't always work, and there is a story where Thoth has to ask the goddess to come with him 1,077 times before she finally obliges. Thoth was also an underworld god and appeared alongside Osiris and Anubis in the Hall of Truth, where the heart of the soul was weighed against the feather of truth. Thoth was the scribe who kept track of the deceased souls and the outcome of judgment, whether their heart was lighter and they could go onto the paradise of the field of reeds, or whether they were destroyed by the monster Amut. Thoth in the underworld lived in the mansion of Thoth, which was also a safe place for souls to both rest and receive help in the form of spells to help them reach paradise safely, and keep them safe against the demons they may come across along the way. Thoth and his magic was also a key part in reanimating souls in the underworld who had fallen asleep at death and could not wake themselves. Thoth has a long history of worship, which most likely started in Lower Egypt as early as the pre-dynastic period between circa 6000 and 3150 BCE, and it continued all the way through to the Ptolemaic period, which spanned from 323 to 30 BCE, and was the last dynastic era of ancient Egypt. Thoth was venerated for an immense amount of time, and his importance is clear, with Egyptian kings often including his name in their own, such as with Thutmose, which means born of Thoth. Though venerated widely throughout Egypt, his main centre was at Hermopolis. His priests were highly educated scribes, and his cult was loosely associated with the ruling class of ancient Egypt. Thoth was an important deity to both the elite and ruling class, but also to individuals who made offerings to him in tombs and possessed amulets of Thoth for protection in the form of an ibis or a baboon. Mummified ibis birds were sold at the centre of Hermopolis as votive offerings to Thoth, and thousands have been found in excavations of the necropolis Tuna el Gebel nearby, as well as a large number of baboons and ibis birds found at a burial ground at Saqqara. This vast number of buried animals dedicated to Thoth, as well as the incredible amount of amulets of the god discovered at various sites, attest to his popularity and continued veneration throughout the history of ancient Egypt, from its early days to the very end. Why do you feel Thoth was so popular? Let us know what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on our new videos every Tuesday and Friday. This video was brought to you by World History Encyclopedia. For more great articles and interactive content, head to our website via the link below. If you like my shirt, you can find this design and a bunch more in our shop at worldhistory.store, or you can find a link for it down below. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you soon with another video.